and welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by the one and only, the human turret himself, one of the best ARs to ever do it. Give it up for the world champ, Sam LaRue, Octane. We're also joined by some of the best analysis in the game, the world champ, Christopher Duarte, Parasite. We have the multi-world champion, the multi-champion, a legend, an icon to the Call of Duty scene, Patrick Price, a.k.a. Ace. And then, of course, we got the executive producer of The Flank, Mr. Benjay Nassim. Gentlemen, how we doing today? How we feeling? Long day of matches, stressful day of matches for some people like Sam. Sam, how you feeling today? You doing all right, Sam? Are you okay?
I'm good, bro. I'm one Ben filibuster from an existential crisis.
Not the Ben filibuster. Not the Ben filibuster, man. What about you, Pat? How you doing, Pat?
I'm good, Tom. You know, just getting everything sorted in Dallas. You know, it's been a busy few days, but I'm good. About to watch Toronto win this thing from the loser bracket, so I'll be even better.
Yeah, we'll see about that, Slay. I think Atlanta FaZe might come in and take this one, man. We'll see. But we also got Duarte in here. What's wrong, Duarte? Why are you making a FaZe, Duarte?
Atlanta FaZe? You mean LAG? They're winning this tournament.
Oh, here we go.
LAG. Nah, I'm trolling. Yeah, I definitely got FaZe. But hey, man, I'm doing good.
Shout out to LAG,
today was kind of a snooze day, to be honest. I think there was like one match that was like a pretty like close one. But for the most part, everyone got obliterated today by the top four. Like, it was pretty damn bad.
Yeah, that's top four.
Yeah, Thieves in Miami definitely trolled in their
Or,
series.
well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, who's exactly your top four these days?
The top three.
Obliterated by the top four.
Yeah, we'll obviously
Big
go
three.
over it. And Ben, how you doing, Ben? You doing all right?
Woke up this morning, watched the Italy game. I know, Tom, they really go.
I don't want to talk about it.
They really go the way you wanted
Italy's
to go.
ass, man.
And then, yeah, I agree. They were mostly a snooze day in COD, but I think, unfortunately, for Thieves in Miami, their series, there were opportunities maybe to force a Game 5 or extend the series, and they just didn't take advantage, Tom.
Yeah, we'll talk about the series. We'll obviously get into it. We won't waste any time. Before we do get into it, guys, the new merch is now live. The summer collection is up. All right, so make sure to go to ZOOMAA.gg to go cop the merch before it's too late, folks. We'll switch on over and take a look. We have the 1962 tee here, okay? So we got the Pizzeria Shop, the 1962 merch. I know a lot of you guys were looking for that one, so I wanted to do something cool. We thought this was a cool idea. Looks vintage, looks sharp, so you could get that one. We also have the Flank tee. Slay, I know you really want this one. We're going to have to send you a little care package, Slay.
Yeah, that one's my favorite.
This one's fire right here. You guys can also pick this up. And then I know a lot of people wanted the all-whites, FC Black. We also threw the black ones up there as well. But the all-white ones is the ones you guys were asking for, so we threw that one up. So if you guys want an opportunity to cop, you guys can go cop that one as well, man. Get the FC Black jersey. You got the Flank logo on the side. The FaZe Steel series, it's looking clean. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to cop it while you can. ZOOMAA.gg. But let's move on. We have some series to talk about. We had 5 series to talk about today. So we're going to hop right into it. Let's start with the first series. We had the Toronto Ultra going up against the Miami Heretics. This one ended in a 3-1 finish for the Toronto Ultra. You can take a look here at the maps down below. The Vista Hardpoint, the map number 1, was the one map that Miami was able to win. But then after that, it was pretty comfortable for Toronto. I won't even say comfortable. It was a good series, man. It went to a round 11 map 2. The fourth map came down to 7 points in the hard point. The high-rise control was pretty clinical from Toronto. We'll scroll down, take a look at the stats here. Oh, Jesus, jump scare. Jesus, mono. It's a red carpet for the Miami Heretics. And then on the other side, you can see Scrap. 1.25. He's been doing that shit all year. You got Kleenex with a 1.20, a 1.05 from Envoy. You got Insight there doing what he's got to do for the squad. And we'll take a look at the match MVP here. You got Kleenex, 11 out of 21 votes. Probably be between him and Scrappy in this one. But Benjay, we'll start with you, and then we'll go down the list. What did you think of the series, man? We had Toronto going up against Miami.
Map 1 was pretty interesting. I thought Toronto got off to a good start, and then Miami really turned it on the second rotation. And I was like, at that point, okay, bet we got a pretty interesting series. From there, Toronto kind of took advantage of the next 2 maps. And then I think Miami just really had a real opportunity to kind of force a Game 5 against a Toronto team that I think has been a little iffy in S&D. And because of Toronto's auto vetoes, I think that last S&D might have been very favorable for Miami. Instead, they kind of threw map 4 away and threw themselves out of the tournament.
Yeah, we'll go down the list. Pat, we'll go to you next. Toronto Ultra, they take care of business against Miami. Toronto, these are your guys, Pat. You love Toronto. Miami, they played them close though, Pat. Miami, they showed out, Pat. Maybe you can show Miami a little love here, Pat, or nah? Are they terrible?
I mean, they improved. They
They
definitely
improved a
improved,
lot, in
Tom.
my opinion.
But I mean, there's just no stress on my end from Ultra winning this series. You know, we talked about it. You win by inch, you win by a mile. A win's a win.
Mhm.
And Toronto got it done. But yeah, I mean, I think you're right, Tom. Miami do look much better. Overall, especially in respawn. But yeah, Toronto just too good at the end of the day.
Yeah, Kleenex had a good series today. Scrappy had a good series. You know, the slaying power was a lot for these guys. But they did come out in the first hard point in the map one. Chris, well, what did you think of the series? For a second there, I thought Miami's going to run away with it. They kind of threw away the Surge, too. A few of those
Yeah.
rounds.
Second, or yesterday, I was talking about it, how if Miami's going to win this series, like, I don't care if they win that first hard point, it's going to come down to the second map. If they don't win the search for whatever reason, I just don't have faith in this team being able to, like, close multiple respawns against Toronto. Obviously, they had that chance on that fourth map, and Ben already said they threw it away, but I mean, I feel like they lost the series when they didn't, like, capitalize on that first S&D and, like, win that right there, because Toronto just typically hasn't been that good at search. And I mean, when you look at the stats just in general, like, I mean, it's pretty fucking obvious these guys can't can't compete when it comes down to the slaying.
Yeah, no, I agree. The slaying was too much from Toronto. I mean, they kept up in the first map, but you could see the difference from watching. But Sam, what did you think of the series, Sam?
I thought it was a great showing from Miami. There was genuinely a couple gunfights, and we go game 5 here.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
that the way that the vetoes panned out with how Toronto just has 3 autos, I thought that this was a very doable series for Miami. But like I said, Toronto just got the more important kills today. They look good, dude. I'm happy that the online performance transferred a little bit, because we always see that, you know, teams will play well online and then they come to LAN and regress a little bit. But Miami's not to be fucked with, and I thought that today was a series that they're going to kick themselves for a little bit, because this is at least winnable in a game 5, because Karachi, they're obviously very good at. But
Yeah.
seeing it end in 4 here, I think they're going to be upset at.
I think I didn't even think about it now, but realistically, they were a couple gunfights away from this being a 3-1.
Yeah, the S&D was close.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go into the round 11 here. I could pull it up on the screen now. You could see it, kind of see how both teams broke off. Miami was on the offense. They ended up 3-stacking middle here on the offense, so it's just a mixed fest right off the rip in this round 11. The trades come in, 3v3 situation. Miami decide to go towards A, and I think it's just Kleenex, right? He makes the play here. He's been doing this all game long, where he just hits those routes and he hits those flanks, and he was able to pick out medals there. I thought that was a really big play from Kleenex here in the round 11. And then you can see Scrap, while Kleenex is hitting one side of the map, he's decided to just play a corner and sit on his own side of the map. He was able to catch one of those guys off guard. So just a really good play, in my opinion, from Toronto Ultra in the round 11 on the defense. They just chow, right? Like, they weren't scared to make a play. They pushed through the left side of the map. They got mid-map control, and they were able to just catch Miami off guard. What do you guys think about the mid-hit from Miami there, instead of just kind of playing like a default A, right? 'Cause
I mean,
that's-
I was gonna say that I liked it just because I feel like a lot of people are gonna play like a very generic setup, and I feel like they were gonna try to catch somebody off guard. They did, you know, they got that first blood on this on who was that Envoy right here, but then also like Toronto didn't slouch, right? Like a lot of teams, like they're gonna shit themselves on that round 11, and they're gonna play a very standard setup. But like Toronto kind of acknowledged that Miami wasn't really going towards B too much, so they were like, let's just gamble it and let's see if we can get through and make like a fast play. And Kleenex took advantage of it. He gets behind them, and they just played off that. They pretty much gave away A. Like if you really think about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, they just kind of gambled that, you know, Heretics weren't just gonna do like the default strat, and it worked.
I think the one what if is like if the timing just went down and Mel's actually able to jump out middle and go to you with the rest of his team, they actually play 3 on the site. Like I think they would have had a decent chance to maybe win this. Instead, he backs up, and then that's how he really gets isolated. I mean, even if he killed Toby, there's one other guy in the pinch, he probably dies, and it's probably his 2v2 still.
And then the fourth map, obviously, this is one that Ben and Chris were talking about, that where they kind of threw it away. I mean, here at the end, I mean, this was just a really big break here for Miami. You can see Toronto, they're able to get here early. What happened with Toronto here that they just let this guy waltz up Wood here? I was so shocked when this happened. He just waltzed up Wood and just shot a guy in the side. Like, I feel like on this hill, like, Wood stairs is like the most important thing to watch, is it not? And Insight gets back down here and he gives it up. I just don't know. Did Insight not comment, or maybe whoever was looking
I think
at
Envoy actually gave it up.
maybe he blacked out or something? But yeah, I thought that was crazy there, because Miami, they were able to get in for a second here, and I thought they were gonna run away with this one. And you could kind of just see how the rest of this map plays out. A couple kills coming from Miami. Toronto ends up spawning out, and I don't even know how Toronto was able to get in. They gave up wood stairs too. What are these cats doing? Everybody's giving up wood stairs. This is troll after troll here.
They got shit on by this guy on hop up. The guy this guy ended up just making the play and like killing all of them, or like killing like I think like 2. Like he gets a pick here, gets another one, buys enough time for his help, and then the rest of the squad comes in. Like inside, Jamie made the play, but yeah, they also just gave up the stairs.
Yeah,
well.
that's crazy. They gave up the stairs and then they were in there. They were able to get in, and then we could go down towards like the final moments of this map. Where they were able to close it out. And, I mean, this got interesting here. I think it was Miami who get here first. They win the fights. You have one guy. It was Scrap who was able to get pushed up security here and kind of stay alive. You can see Real, too. He's playing like a little off angle. He ends up catching somebody slipping, too. So Vickle, he plays middle of the map. He finds one. He's quickly traded. Real with a little creddy spot. He's able to find one. But he ends up ego challenge here. I would have liked Real to maybe try and stay alive there, like play his life a little bit there.
Wow.
Just kind of stall. He kind of ego chowed there. And
Just
with a
breaking
little
it down because it all happened so fast. I want you to go back and pause after Vickle dies mid. Because the guy that was playing the exit, number 2, if he gets this kill on Kleenex, I think they probably win the scenario, or at the very least don't get blendered.
Yeah, right here.
So
in the middle.
he gets that kill on his teammate Vickle, and rather than just like insta chasing through mid, look at what he does, and then look at what happens to him. Did he not see him? Like what happened? And then look, he still just gets shit on by Toby.
I wonder what made Kleenex turn around and whip it. I don't know if he just like predicted him or what.
What made number 2? What made number 2 not just like sprint, like get to your team? Like where else is that guy gonna go that got the kill on the guy mid? Like am I fried?
Nah, he's just gonna hit mid. I mean, he could have pinched theoretically. He could have pinched.
No, yeah, but was he gonna pinch? Is he gonna pinch water side and rewrap P3? No, like number 2 doesn't see him.
I think
you know
pinching would have been, if he did pinch, it would have been a terrible play because they got the kills, right? Like you want to use numbers at that point because they traded the guy mid map and they killed Real. So it's just Go ahead,
yeah,
Chris.
it all happened so fast, so I was just kind of like, I didn't realize what happened. I just thought they lost trades, but like just looking at it right there when you slowed it down, it's just like, wow, what was number 2 doing? If he just insta like engages and kills Kleenex, he's right there to help his teammates crossfire the players coming from security. They probably win this map.
I would full screen it too, by the way, guys. It doesn't work. I hit full screen. It's not working for some reason. It hasn't worked the last few days when I try and full screen it. So I do apologize for some people saying full screen. But Sam, Pat, what do you guys think went wrong here at the end for Miami? I thought they threw this map away. They were there. They had the kills, and Toronto were able to break in.
Yeah, that was what I mentioned when I started talking about the series. It's just a couple of really key gunfights here, and this is at least going to a doable Game 5. It's kind of just what Chris said about how the individual situations actually played out, but this is what I think that Miami's going to be kicking themselves for a little bit, because it's not a situation where like a bottom 8 team plays a top 4 and it was hopeless. Like this was an extremely winnable series for Miami. So I think that they're going to walk away from this tournament, obviously with some positives, but they're going to be kicking themselves a little bit just because it was genuinely this close to go into a Game 5 as well as the map too. So
yeah, so right here you can see Toronto. They eliminate Miami from the tournament. What was their final placing here in this tournament, Benjay? What did they place?
Miami, they got, I believe, top 8.
Top 8 for Miami. Top 8. So Miami with a top 8 finish. They do solidify themselves into champs as well. So they will be at champs. I'm sure that's obviously big for them. Everybody wants to get the champs.
Yeah, they got champs, Tom, but they're going to be the last seed. So have fun with that one.
Yeah, last seed is not good, but at least they're there, Ben. It could be worse, Benjay.
Yeah.
It could be worse. Gentlemen, any final thoughts on this series, guys? Any final thoughts?
I want to echo something that that Sam said, and it's one to monitor, especially tomorrow. Toronto now have multiple auto vetoes, and when you think about matchups against New York and FaZe, it's going to be extremely problematic with their current form, especially on like Karach Hardpoint, which we'll get to later today. So I'm very curious to see what Toronto's going to do in vetoes tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Then let's move on to the next one. We have Atlanta FaZe going up against the one and only the Seattle Surge. Let's switch on over. This one ended up in a 3-0 for Atlanta FaZe. Seattle getting the blender here. You can scroll down here, take a look at the stats here. Everybody negative here. Everybody with a 0.6, 0.8, except for 0-4. Man, because somebody help this guy 0-4.
Please.
This guy 0-4 has been incredible for this team, man, for this roster. Not only, and Chris, you were the one saying that he wasn't a respawn guy. This was an S&D guy coming in. He never played a lick of respawn. Is that true, Chris?
Yeah, he hasn't played a lick of Respawn until this year. The fact that he's actually like he had some pretty standout like performances in hardpoint, high impact plays. I feel like his game IQ and just like his ability to learn has been like super underrated in terms of like his performance. Like the fact that he's doing like what he's doing, the consistency that the Seattle's team had as of recent. Obviously, you know, a lot of other players have also stepped up, but like this guy has like no experience in the hardpoint world. Even players like Joe Deceives. Like Joe played like Joe's like super inexperienced as well, but Joe used to play like variant tournaments while he was underage. Simp, you know, obviously those guys played like a lot of stuff lands when they were underage. This guy has not played a lick of Respawn at all.
Yeah, it's impressive, honestly, because he looks like he's been playing it for years. He makes really good plays on a map. Not only does he shoot really straight, but he's just also a smart player. Sam, we'll go to you. Atlanta FaZe, they blender Seattle Surge here. What were your thoughts on the series?
This was a Tiny Terror series if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, they went
the
crazy.
The KDs do it justice. They had the same one, but it's good to see a sub base play here. I was questioning whether it was worth adding to their map pool. Clearly, you know, it's benefiting them now after the online performance. A little 5-3 curse on the map 2 with a Tyler Abizi assassination.
Yeah.
And map 3 wasn't really much to talk about, but yeah, this was just a clinical Tiny Terror series. If I'm being honest, there's not really much to go on here. Everyone got blendered other than 04.
Yeah, it was definitely a one-sided series. Ben, what did you think about the series?
Can you
back
go
there?
back real quick, Tom, and click on map vetoes? Because I think FaZe was Team B here. So what hard points were left over? Rio Vista. So 6-star could have gotten picked, and Seattle picked sub base in the series. So that's interesting.
That kind of makes sense.
Makes sense.
That makes sense.
It makes sense, but again, it kind of leads credence to I think FaZe working on sub base has kind of paid dividends because it gives them a different angle against some teams who are better at some of the newer maps, and they can go back to some like stage 1 type shit. But I thought today, look, 04 was the M1 on Seattle making plays, and I think he was a big reason why first map wasn't a blowout. The S&D was pretty close. But I think for FaZe, this is just kind of taking care of business today, not getting tripped up by Seattle. I think the high rise is very clean, which is going to be super important going forward to winners finals and grand finals. I think there's not much you complain about for a FaZe fan. If you're a Seattle fan, this is always going to be a tough series, and that S&D, I think, in particular, was winnable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll go over to you, Pat. Atlanta FaZe, they take care of Seattle today. What were your thoughts, Pat?
Pure bully ball time. Pure bully ball all series long.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered if 04 had help or not. If you ever get a series out of FaZe where Simp and Abizi are doing the tiny terrorist thing, it's pretty much GG for you. Plus 20 out of those guys each is unbeatable.
Especially with the pace that Abizi plays at, if he has a 1.43, you gotta think that's got to be an impact on a map. That's got to be a super impactful 1.43 there. And he also laid down a lot of damage as well. But Chris, what did you think of the series, Chris?
I mean, it was just a wash. I mean, I don't think. FaZe have just been rinsing pretty much everyone they've played at this tournament. Simp. I mean, obviously, I know Simp was doing this in his last match. He's been doing it the whole major. But then you get Abizi doing the same, and yeah, you pretty much just can't win. Like the fact that Abizi, like right now, where you guys are watching the highlights, he's like relatively even right now, like pretty close in this series or in this map, and then he still ends with the 1.4. That means in like the hard point control, and then the next hard point,
He went insane.
the next hard point in the control, he's just going insane. Like you're just getting pure takeover power from these guys. But again, I mean, this is more on the Seattle side, man. Like as much as Seattle did make like a pretty good run, right? They got top 6 again. This team still has a lot to improve on, and my main critique here in terms of the players is just mainly on Hook. Hook on the online stages, and this just reminds me of back when he was on Optic and during their run, in their online stages, he was him, and like he's been pretty good for this team online. But then he comes to LAN, and he just has these matches where he's getting pooped on LAN, and I don't know what it is. He used to be very great on LAN. Obviously, this guy's been around for a while, but as of late, he's just not as good anymore.
Well, it's his
at
play
least
style.
on LAN.
It's his play style.
Yeah.
Back in the day, he used to play his life a lot better. Now it seems like he's just kind of taking that entry fragger role. Like, I mean, he's definitely
the
entry
extreme.
fragging. He's definitely entry
To the
to
extreme.
the extreme. He's taking it to the extreme.
Whoa. I'm about to read this Kyler stats this season. It's online inland. Overall KD 0.91, hardpoint 0.9, SNG 0.88, and control 0.95. I think obviously he's had some really good games to split, but even online he's been very up and down this year. I mean, those are like
my point more so is that I don't really see him drop these insanely like bad like maps or like series often on line compared to on LAN. Like I feel like his online performances are a little bit more spread out, but on LAN I've seen him have some insane series.
I mean,
don't
he
know,
didn't have
just
a
an
mega.
observation.
He didn't have a mega stinker in this series. Like in general,
Yeah,
everybody
I
about
know,
04
I
was
know.
shooting
He had
back.
one in Toronto,
The
but
Toronto
I was
one.
just talking about more so all for their run, not just this series.
I just think, look, like I think Kyler's type of player and his play style that, like, if you try to put the chains on him, you're just gonna kill his confidence.
I'm not saying
Like,
put
you
the
just gotta-
chains on him, my brother.
What do you want? What's the big
I'm
adaptation
just
you
saying
want
he
him to
needs
do?
to get better. It's the same thing like I said with Kremp. Kremp needs to find a way to manage his play style and make it more effective, especially in a LAN environment. And Kremp, for the most part, this major, at least during the split, he was great. He played a lot better, way more consistent. Like, clearly it's a possibility without completely restricting yourself and playing a completely different game. It's just a critique, bro. Like,
That's
I
fair,
want
but
to see the player
this is
be
fair,
better.
but
Is
he's
this
not- he's
This
not
has
pride?
been
gonna-
Kyler. This has been Kyler for 10 years,
Yeah,
bro.
that's what I was
He's
gonna go
not.
with that.
He's not changing, bro. This is his style. He
I'm
plays one
just
gear
accept-
COD.
I'm
It
just
either
saying, do we
works
accept
or
it?
it doesn't work.
I
I mean,
accept
no. A
it
lot
and
of
not
teams.
criticize
A
it?
lot of teams haven't. Why do you think he's found himself on Seattle Surge and LAG and dropped a million
And
times?
Thieves and Empire.
He is a very one-dimensional player who is simply better online,
And
not
Optic.
because of connection, but because of play style. He plays this one-dimensional style where if he's getting his kills, it works, and if a team is slowing down or he's not getting his kills, it doesn't. He cannot adapt. He never has been able to in any team. It is what it is. Like we can't even critique it at this point. It's just this is Kyler. This is what you get. You live or die by it. It's
I
as
think
simple as that.
Chris is right though. I think Chris is right, but I think you're right that I just don't see Kyler making the personal growth to fix his play style in a way where he's just staying a lot bit more, waiting for his teammates. Like,
Bro, people have been asking
reacting a
to
little
make
better.
that growth for 10 years. It hasn't
Yeah.
happened. Why would it happen now?
just it's just tough for
It's
Seattle.
weird. You
'cause
would think
go ahead.
eventually he would adapt to it. You think eventually, like, just with people telling him, right? Like, he would just adapt. And so even a few plays in the S&D, too. I mean, in the next series, he was just kind of... There were a few chows I was like, man, like, they were in a good situation. I think Brezzy got, like, 3 first bloods, and then they just pissed him away with overchow. Seattle Surge needs to play chain together. They need to play chain. They need to be chained up.
Them and Optic. They need to have a eights chained together.
Exactly, bro. Optic, yeah, same with Optic, bro. They need to get chained up together, bro, and get that chemistry back, bro. Get that chemistry back. The 3-2-1s, the 3-2-1 jumps and shit. But yeah, no, I agree. I don't disagree. I actually agree with the Slayer. I think he's just, it's so go, and that can happen sometimes with an entry frag, some machine gun player, right? Like you got to try and find a balance with your gears, and sometimes that can be pretty difficult. But I mean, that's something that you have to be able to do.
Bro,
You got to be able to adapt.
Whenever we go over to the Toronto series, I don't know if it's going to be a highlight. I don't know if you'll be able to pull up the VOD. Just watch the 5-5 or not the 5-5. I think was it the Invasion S&D where they were on Hook's POV and he kept just like trying to like poke his like head through like a different cut every single time. Like that is the
next
most.
series.
That is the I know, but I'm saying when we go over it, that is the most Hook playstyle thing that is you'll ever see, and you'll understand if you watch it.
Yeah. No.
It's why he's never going to be effective against like a FaZe or a Toronto or an Optic, or even in New York, because they're very just effective at knowing about people's playstyles. And the college going to take those shots, and they're going to be patient. So I like this Seattle team. They gave it a little bit of a go in the series. The sub base was not necessarily a blowout until the end, and the S&D was winnable. I didn't think at that point they were going to win the control high rise. I just don't see Seattle fixing on their little things, and I think 6 is probably also where they're going to place the champs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a pretty one-sided series. I don't know if anybody else has any takes or anything they want to say about the series. We do see Seattle.
Fucking godlike, bro.
Yeah, FaZe do look
FaZe just
really
look
good.
godlike.
They look good. I remember when we were doing the predictions on the show, we were talking about Toronto, and I think most of us had Toronto, but I mean, coming into it so far this weekend, FaZe has looked insane. They have looked incredible. So hopefully they can keep this going tomorrow into Championship Sunday. But they've been moving for sure. Anybody else got any final thoughts? Ben, Pat, Chris?
If FaZe
anybody?
win one series, and they will have number 1 seed locked in for champs. They just got to win one series.
One series, and then they also broke a record today, didn't they? Break a record?
Most points in the CDL season, but
545.
bro, I don't. This is a bullshit record.
How's that a bullshit record? It's a
Because they
fire
added
record.
more matches, online matches this season, and like,
Okay,
bro,
yeah,
like we
that's
keep
true.
changing the format. Like, give me a break.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. All right, let's move on to the next series. Let FaZe take care of business. They move on to Championship Sunday. Seattle Surge, they get bounced into the losers bracket. We'll see them here in just a little bit. But let's move on to the next series of the day. We have the Los Angeles Guerrillas going up against the LA Thieves. Man, this was a winners bracket match, and LAG was able to 3-0 LA Thieves for top 3. Chris, Sam, these are your boys here. These are your boys. I mean, talk to me, Chris. I mean, we'll start with you. LAG, they've been taking care of business.
Let's see the case, Tom.
We'll scroll down to the stat sheet
bad.
here. We'll take a look
Jesus fucking
here.
Christ!
Jesus fucking my. Nah, why'd you do the soundboard? It wasn't a red carpet, Benjay.
I know, but I was trying to follow Chris up.
Oh, man. And then we can take a look at that match MVP. It's Flames here. Flames had a good series. He did his thing here. We'll scroll up. We'll keep it right here. Chris, we'll start with you. What were your thoughts on the series, Chris? What were your thoughts?
I mean, I'm happy to see them to fry. Fame didn't have his best series, but Flames threw on the backpack and helped them get over the finish line. Flames had just an outstanding series, specifically in that control. Bro, they've been playing such good teamwork COD at this major. Obviously, they haven't really played a lot of series, but just watching them and like their plan, especially in the S&D, it felt like they've been like well prepared this major in terms of like strategies and like throwing different looks that I haven't seen this team do in a while. It seems like they're playing like a well-oiled machine. Obviously, they haven't played the toughest competition. They played Toronto, and then now they just played the Thieves. But it is what it is.
Toronto
Small
was a big win,
W's for
Chris.
them.
Toronto was a big win.
Toronto was a big win, but obviously people are going to say, like, they're going to discredit them. They're going to be like, all right, Toronto was off their game, right? Especially if, like, Toronto end up making a run in the grand final regardless. But either way, I'm just more so, like, not trying to get ahead of myself. Having them win one series against a top 4 team here. I'm not going to say they're all of a sudden the best. But anyways, regardless, they've been playing good. Like, just watching them, like, teamwork-wise, they've been playing great. Astro's been playing well. Diamond Con's been playing well. Fame's had some series, and then Flames obviously had a standout series there. So I'm happy. Don't really got much else to say. Just pretty happy to see them, going back to their winning ways and search and destroy. And then they've made improvements in hardpoint this stage. Like, they won a couple series online that put them in the winners bracket, and they looked really good in hardpoint. So good for them.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll go over to Sam. Sam, LA Thieves, they fall short here in the winners bracket. What are your thoughts, Sam?
They look like fucking shit.
Oh, Jesus.
Bro, they blew a 100-point lead on the Rio. Like, the listening was shit. Like, today they played absolute D-tier COD, if I'm being honest with you, man. We praised the listening from, I think it was online or maybe their first series when they played Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like the polar opposite of that today. Again, the 100-point lead on Rio is
yeah. Where do you think it went wrong in the Rio here, Sam? Because we're watching it now.
Like, it's so easy to front run this map, and I think that, like, we've seen so many second rotation comebacks because the team in the lead stops being disciplined and just like thinks they can hit scrap or find like advantages here and there instead of playing good disciplined COD. And apparently Rio's a map where you can super punish that because it's happened multiple times the last couple of weeks. But to Chris's point, LG just looked better, bro. Their teamwork was great today. Trades were great. Comms were great. And LAT just did not come out to play today. Their hard point was shit, quite frankly.
Yeah.
It's also not really a huge surprise, by the way, because LAG did start to play better online at the during the what is it called, the online qualifiers. They got a couple wins. Obviously, they got winners brackets, so they did it. It's not like they all of a sudden were dog shit and then came to the event and just got like a top 6 or whatever like they did before. So like these guys are actually making improvements.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like,
which
I tip, and the LG boys, like, the respectable runner to winners finals. These forgot how to play fucking P3 Rio. Like, it's just, I don't get it. It seems like communication because lanes are not being picked up. It seems like people are rotating, giving up cuts, and people are not recognizing that those rotations are happening, and they're just leaving gaps. It's just super undisciplined and sloppy. And we generally have seen these be a little more disciplined than that. And the way that LG play, like, they're going to punish teams that are loose and just not getting random gunfight wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pat, what did you think of the series, man? LAG slammed these guys. What happened?
They slammed them for sure. I mean, LAT came in, got the job done, though. They qualified for champs. But I'll be honest, I'm not buying this LAG stuff, Tom. I might be an outlier here, but I'm not buying it. I want to see an event with fans in the crowd, personally. That's what I want to see before I start getting on.
They did have events with the crowd and got top 6 twice.
Yeah, we've talked about this. They beat like the Ravens in Miami. Congrats.
They're the best average placing amongst the bottom 8 teams.
Did you not hear what I just said? They
I
got
know,
top
but I
six
want
by
to
There's nobody.
playing
There's
absolutely
nobody else for them to beat though. Like who are
But-
they gonna? That's not like they're gonna play
Point is-
Toronto or FaZe
point-
for top 6.
But point is, if I don't think they beat Toronto at a real event with fans to be in this position to begin with. That's kind of what I was saying. So I'm not buying it. I think LAG is going to go to champs and get 8th, probably, maybe 6th. But yeah,
that's
I mean,
good.
they
That's a
handled,
W for them.
They are really actually they have a pretty favorable seed
I
for
mean,
chance.
that's
We'll get to that later.
insane that we're saying that's anyway. Yeah, they slammed the Thieves here. Thieves looked terrible. Did not look like anything they did yesterday. But they at least qualify for champs, so I think it's a dub for them.
Yeah, definitely qualifying is a W to take from the weekend. I mean, you never want to get bounced from a tournament. That obviously sucks, but getting champs is big. I mean, they're still in the tournament, Pat. I mean, they're still pushing, right? These guys are top
Nah,
3
they're
now.
out. They're out.
Pat, you don't think there's any way these guys can somehow turn some heads tomorrow and win this? They already beat Toronto.
I think they get double 3-0'd.
I don't think they're gonna beat FaZe, but I think
they get 3-0 out the venue.
They're
so.
they're in definitely a weird spot that they've never been in before, which is a winners final. So we'll see. I mean, I don't expect them to be FaZe and how they react after that. Yeah, double 3.
They got no pressure on their shoulders anymore.
Sam, what happened in this round here, Sam? We raged here.
Bro,
we raged
fucking
here.
blacked out is what happened.
Oops, I overclicked
Crimp,
there.
they backed down Flames or Fame or whoever it was. Heli Stairs got the trade on B-Bomb, and then Crimp just ran in a bottom blue, no info on the right side of the map, died. Game ended.
Yeah,
That's definitely like a. I was gonna say that's definitely like a blackout, no comms moment. Like they like split up, went separate ways, had no game plan. They just like in their heads, they're like, I should do this, and then did it, and then died. Yeah,
Right.
vibes.
Just vibes.
I don't know why. I actually don't know why Crimp went into blue with the bomb, and then you could
Like
also
they were on B-Bomb.
and then Joe was
setup.
just running. Joe was just running away. He was hustling. He tried to get the fuck out of there, and then he died.
I mean, Joe was taking good space. So there's just no reason for Crimp after the trade happened to just run into a part of the map that you have zero information on with the bomb.
Yeah. And then Flames obviously makes the heads up play there. My picks did go through because of Flames right there, so thank you very much, Flames. But yeah, definitely a weird round there from LA Thieves. Almost seemed like they panicked a little bit when they were on the site, and they kind of tweaked. But yeah, good plays from LAG to get the 3-0. We could take a look here at the last round here, the map win here in the control. But I mean, you guys have any final thoughts? I mean, what's next for LA Thieves? Right? They go to champs. What do you think they got to work on the most, Sam? What do you think's their biggest hurdle right now?
This match.
Just consistency, man. Like we've seen the level that they can play at, and I feel like we just don't know what team is showing up in the venue on any given day. And I think it's been a season theme for them. It's just hard to string together good series back to back. And again, we've seen them have some really high highs, and then we've seen them get 3-0'd by LAG in winners bracket. So I don't know, man. I think they've been good in search. I'm happy with their search game over stage 4. I think they've been one of the better teams. It's been a good backbone for them. But just consistency and respawn and slaying is where I would try to put the focus for the next couple of weeks before champs.
They need to lock down a second control. I feel like I'm confident in them when they play high rise. But this is like their secondary map pick, and like they are just complete dog shit at offense. Like
they're 1-14, 1-13 in offense on Invasion.
Are they holy shit!
That's
they
have one offensive round win.
I mean, I can tell you why. Those cats do not move, bro. They literally just sit there.
They just looked indecisive today. Like they looked like how we were talking about the main AR stigma when you're not confident, you're not moving, and that's kind of where all 4 of them were. Like we were begging for people to sprint today. It seemed like they were a little apprehensive in the game plan.
If these guys want to like back pocket, obviously like they haven't been confident in playing like Karachi. They don't really play it. But if they can really work on that map, they might be able to throw some different looks in. Because right now, Invasion's just like not working for them. When it comes to like last thoughts, though, I just wanted to give a shout out to the coaching staff of LAG. I put out a tweet earlier today, basically just giving them their props because the product of LAG, right, with getting those 2 top 6s and then obviously getting a top 3 here is just a product of like having a winning, like not winning, but having like a good culture, right? Obviously LAG with like not really being ran by like an actual organization or whatever, they put the trust into people like Viaz and obviously the players to kind of like make their own culture, make their own team, trust in each other. And there's a couple of coaches on that team that work for free. I'm not even lying. They actually work for free and they put in the work because they want to like obviously get better opportunities and stuff like that. So see them like earning their success, right? having the highest land placing out of the bottom 8 teams with people that basically everyone thought were not good, or people. There's a couple critics that basically said this is a dog shit team, dog shit coaches that don't deserve to be here. They've been making the best.
Fan now, he said before he left. That's what he said. He said, I'm an LAG fan.
Yeah.
I'm out.
They've been making the best out of what they have, and like the coaching staff and the people around the organization outside of the players deserve a lot of credit for that, because they put in a lot of work, dude. So people
what are you talking about, bro?
What?
What
I'm
are
just
we
giving them
saying?
the props.
Bro, I'm so tired of giving props to. Who cares? They're gonna be 8th. What are we giving props for?
It doesn't matter. They had this is for the resources they have as an organization now, and the people that they hired, and the people and the players.
They got the same resources
season.
that all the bottom 8 team have almost.
This is
they all minimum.
Wait, hold on. This is the best season.
Bad.
This is the best season that LAG has had out of the entire split in the CDL that they've ever played. And that is because obviously who gives a fuck about the organization?
You want to know why they're why it's the best? Because they fucking fired everybody running the fucking team for the last 5 years. That's why they're having the best season.
They still deserve their props.
With who they have now. It's the fact that they had absolute morons for the last 5 years. It's nothing about now.
Well, the people that this is definitely personal.
It's realistic, bro.
They've been
the worst organization in the CDL for 5 years, and we're like, oh yeah, let's give some props now because they fired everybody and they all.
I'm not giving props to LAG as the organization. I'm giving props to the people that got brought on to work there or like be a coach.
Bro,
I don't give a fuck about the organization. You're just being a hater.
Now we're just like, oh yeah,
you're being a hater. You're being a hater.
These guys
you're being
deserve
a hater.
Hella props.
8th place, 7th place. They got top 6 twice and a third so far.
What happened to giving credit where it's due to people that are good?
I mean,
what era am I in where we're gassing these teams for doing better than expected?
I mean, to be fair, Pat, a lot of the bottom 8 has been very consistent, and these guys.
This participation era shit is just not.
Bro, not everyone wins. There's one winner.
Wow.
There's one winner at tournaments.
Yo, Tom, it's just different, man. The competition is just different.
Bro,
now.
I mean,
so just because they did it, just because they're not winning events doesn't mean that you're gonna invalidate their entire work that they put in this year to even be relatively competitive at tournaments. That's actually just like
yes. It is a competition. You're either the best or you're nothing. That's how you look at competition. If you don't win at all, what does it matter?
There's shades of nothing though.
Listen, bro.
There's definitely shades of
we're
nothing.
just in a different era, man. That's all.
You're just a hater, bro.
Pat,
You're a hater. That's all you are.
I hear you, Pat.
Look, true competitors understand, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Pat, I hear you.
You're being a hater, bro.
We got to give LAG some props, some level of props. While the bottom 8, many of them have gotten dead last. We praised Thieves online.
But what I'm asking is, what are we giving props for? That's what I'm asking.
This team wins series on land, and yes, it's not against.
But that's what I'm asking.
Bro,
what are we giving props for? Not being last? Is that what we're giving props for?
I'm giving props for them for when we complained last year about how Boston made champs purely on winning online matches. LAG did the opposite. They were dog shit online, and they qualified for championship for being good at land and getting decent land placings.
Bro, all the adversity.
So answer my question. We're giving props for not getting last.
The amount of adversity that this team.
I mean, hey,
the amount of adversity that the coaching staff and the players have had to deal with this season in terms of just like how they're handled and stuff like that, and in terms of the way they even got to this point, deserves props alone, bro. They've been actually fucked this whole season because of this online shit. They come to these lands and they actually play well. And the fact that they don't have the same resources as a team like fucking Boston or other teams in general, and they're still managing to put together a much more successful season, that alone deserves props. I'm not saying they're the best team in the fucking world, but look at their fucking team, bro. All these people all these people said they didn't deserve to be in the league. This team was dog shit, blah, blah. And they managed to put the most successful team that not only this organization has ever had, but literally the best bottom 8 team
guys weren't your friends,
the entire season.
Give a fuck about how they did.
What? If another team did this, I even said it to Ravens. Ravens was doing the same thing for a bit. They obviously fell off the wagon and didn't do it here. But like, there's other teams that literally are finding success.
Miami's
I give props
the
to the
same
Heretics.
thing. We're not talking about them like
They're not. Not.
You're literally just
they're not as
singling out
successful
this
as Heretics.
one squad,
How?
bro.
Wait,
because they're your
Heretics is not as
friends. I don't,
successful as
like,
how? How is
this
Heretics more?
Participation trophy era is insane.
Are we
It's
fucking
insane,
lost?
bro.
Heretics
Oh
has
my
way
God,
more.
it's insane,
No.
bro.
You're now you're just being an idiot.
Man,
Florida
I
has
miss
much
real
more resources.
We got one more minute,
Florida
gentlemen, get it all out.
Florida has much more resources than LAG has. They have a full organization that supports them and coaching staff that probably all gets fucking paid, Pat. And they're still
Bro,
not as successful
what are
as
you
this team.
saying?
What do you mean
Resources?
they are the same?
What does that have to do with anything? Like,
How are we saying that if Heretics is the
LAG
same?
has the
45
most
seconds.
coaches. They're just working for free. It's not about resources. What does it matter if these guys are
God.
getting a paycheck from the org or not? They're still
You're
they have
an
more
idiot, bro.
fucking.
You're an
they have
idiot. You're
more
just being a
people
hater.
working for them than anyone else.
You're being a hater, bro.
I'm
You're being
not
a hater.
hating on any
You're being
team
a
in the
hater.
league. I just call a spade
You're
a spade.
being a hater.
If they're
You're being a
ass,
hater.
they're ass. If they're good,
20
they're
seconds,
good, and I
gentlemen.
give props to good people. I'm not giving props for someone. Oh man, let's give props to Minnesota. They got fourth earlier this year. Good.
Listen,
No,
bro, you said
they're
you said
horrible.
that
15
Heretics
seconds.
you said that Heretics got better earlier, and then when it comes to this team, you just basically said they're trash and they're gonna bomb out at champs. So
I
you're
think
saying
the
I'm
Heretics are
biased.
going to bomb out at champs. I don't
You're
think
saying I'm
Heretics have a
biased.
chance.
All right.
I don't think any team outside the
I
top four
love
has a
Pat's
chance.
echo, bro. It makes it so much
Pat's
better.
echoing in
The
the
echo makes it so much better, man.
Pat's being biased, and it's fine.
There's
It's
no
okay.
bias.
Yeah,
I
let's
treat
move
all
on now.
dog shit
We'll move
teams
on.
the same.
We'll move on.
It's fine.
It's always a good argument. I will say the one thing about it, Chris, is that are they actually working for free? The coaching
Yes, they
staff?
are working. They're.
Could it be me?
I think
Could it
everyone
be me?
except. I think everyone except for Viaz is working for free.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy. That's nuts. They're pretty much just hoping for a gig. What, the following year? They're probably just grinding through it now, right?
They're
We're
hoping
initiative, bro.
they're hoping they get opportunities from
Yeah.
showing their
initiative.
worth.
I respect it a lot. I respect it a lot. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next series of the day. We had the Seattle Surge going up against the Toronto Ultra. Man, was this one a roller coaster. This one goes all the way down to a map number 5. Toronto Ultra were able to win this one 3-2. They dismantled them in a map 5-6-1. It was actually Toronto who go up 2-0 in the series fairly easily. I mean, they smoked Seattle in the first 2 maps. And then somehow, some way, Seattle just woke up. They clutched the control and they destroyed Toronto in the Karachi hardpoint. But ultimately, in the end, Seattle just busted our balls and wasted our time here because they bring it down to a 5th and final map and they get shit on. We'll take a look here. Oh, Jesus, now you can hit it. Now you can hit it, Van Jay. Fucking asshole. Jesus Christ. That red carpet, basically, a booze is saving them from it, but everybody negative there. You got a 0.65 from Kyler, a 0.99 from 04. I mean, 04 was doing his thing, but I think the biggest thing was just Kyler, right? Kyler had a really rough series
Disaster
here, man.
class.
He had a really rough series here. And then on the other side, 1.17
This
from
is
Toronto
crazy.
Ultra. That is so
That's
weird.
actually insane.
That is so weird, Bill. But yeah, Toronto, they come out, they clutch up, they get the W. Player of the series goes to Envoy, 17 out of 29 votes. Good plays from Envoy here. But Sam, we'll start with you, man. What did you think? We had Seattle Surge versus Toronto. Seattle kind of blue balled us here, Sam.
Yeah, they won 2 maps for no reason. The series actually played out the opposite of how I thought it would. Because of my earlier point with Toronto's vetoes, they were forced into a Vista first map where Seattle was 7-0, and they ended up beating them on that. And then they lost Karachi, where Toronto was 16-3 on. So the hard points didn't exactly go to plan. But this is now probably the 3rd time, I would say, that I've seen Kyler just throw up the absolute bullshit against Toronto. Seattle is a team that plays basically glorified 8s. That is a system that works against teams that you can control the pace on, and when you're playing against a disciplined team like Toronto that are able to slow the game down and play their game plan, shit like this happens. It's happened before. It'll happen again. Listen, I'm not a fan of the way that Kyler plays Call of Duty. Personally, I just don't think it's consistent. It's very high highs, but extremely low lows. This was one of the low series. It's just not a consistent way to win. But Toronto just beat the fuck out of them, if I'm being honest with you. The maps 3 and 4 were kind of just a formality, if I'm being honest. I don't think this series was particularly close.
Yeah, let's move on to Chris. Chris, what did you think about the series?
This was winnable. I thought.
Well, Tom,
they
I
were
want to give a
going-
lot of credit to the Seattle Surge. They faced a lot
Seattle
of
made
adversity
improvements
this
too.
year.
Seattle
I really
deserves some
want to
credit for the way they
congratulate
turned
them
their
on
season
their
around.
8th place. They've done
Hey,
really
they deserved
well.
it. They deserve it. They deserve it. They turned their season around. They were absolute garbage before these roster changes. So, props to Seattle for being able to make a late run, get the champs, and placing well. So, good shit for them. But obviously, there's still no match for Toronto. Hook got absolutely Kentucky fried. Again, I'm going to say it again. I don't care if this guy hasn't changed his play style in years. If I see this guy keep playing the same way of COD, I'm going to keep telling him that he's fucking costing his team sometimes. You go watch that fucking S&D where they lost the invasion, that final round. He was on the defensive end and just kept like poking his head through different cuts, like looking for like some random gap to hit for absolutely zero fucking reason when he can easily just sit there and like hold an angle. Like, listen, I get it. Like, that's just his play style, but he needs to fucking fix it. Abuza played great. 04 played good. Brezi's made a lot of massive improvements. He played really good during this major split, and then he comes to LAN. Obviously, didn't have a good one versus FaZe, but he played pretty all right versus every other team, and he's just, he's improved, period. As far as the Toronto side, like, I mean, they just came in. They took care of business. Expect nothing less from Toronto.
Mm-hmm. Benjay, what did you think about the series, Benjay?
Hopefully I don't say anything else that someone else said because I wasn't here for a sec. I thought this was an interesting series. I'm a little concerned about Jamie Insight's pace in the middle of this series. He was kind of playing a little bit slow in those 2 respawns they lost. But I thought he was, once again, pretty solid in S&D. And I think there's still things that Toronto needs to clean up going into tomorrow in a matchup against New York. But this lose bracket run has been fairly good for them. And from Seattle, I mean, we talked about it earlier, like, I just don't know what this team's play style, if they're really going to fix their issues. I think they've got a really good building places, really good piece to build on for next season. But this feels like to me they might be at the top 6 and champs are just kind of a non-factor team. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Pat, let's go over to you, Pat. What do you think about the Seattle Surge?
I mean, Tom, I've thought the same thing I've thought since the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
They made horrible decisions from the beginning. They got a little bit better because they retracted some of their horrible decisions. And even though they corrected the decisions, they still put themselves in a poor position. So for me, I mean, same thing goes back to the same argument I was just having with Chris. I'm not impressed. I think this team could have done way more this year. And I like the other teams in the bottom 8. I expect to bomb out at champs. So, Toronto.
I mean, not every team can bomb out. That's not how the tournament works.
Pat, do you consider everything above top 4 bombing out?
Yes.
Yes, he does, and that is why like you just can't take an argument
because if you think about it, Sam, to get 5th, 6th, you gotta beat 7th, 8th. So it's still not impressive.
I'm just getting clear. I've figured.
Basically, if you don't beat the 4 best teams in the world, like all your work the entire year was just completely irrelevant. Basically.
Yeah, bro. Do we watch sports? Like, it's the same thing. Like, if your team goes out in the fucking first round, like, you're not sitting there like, man, I'm really glad we made playoffs, guys. Like, what am I hearing?
Some teams don't have the luxury of making playoffs. Unfortunately, they got to take the little W's where they can.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to talk about the S&D a little bit because Brezi kept getting first bloods, and then Seattle just kept pissing it away. One of them being right here, right? It's a 4v3 situation for Seattle. They were able to get another kill, and they let Scrappy. I don't understand how they let Scrappy get a 2-piece here. I just don't understand that. And then they throw the smoke down. They were able to get 1. And then Scrappy comes in for the ace here. The trades come in, and Scrappy gets a 4-piece ace here. What do you guys think? You guys thought Seattle could have played that differently there?
Bro, this is what actually pissed me off, which is they get the blood here, and they've not seen anything in A. And I feel like they should rotate over, and someone should at least go play like outside Ice Cream and watch that B cross. Like, at least get info if they're actually getting on site. Like, they look at this setup, bro. They have 0 info. The only place to get info is fucking Dark Alley. Like.
They didn't need someone to rotate. They just had shit comms and Brezi gave up the dark cross. Like, if they could have done effectively the same thing, been active on the pinch, but they gave up the timing. If they just kept holding it instead of 04 turning or Brezi turning, whoever was holding it, then they eliminate that timing. Plus, they can activate the pinch quicker. They could have had someone on their side 100% to like hold that push through, but giving up that timing is the reason that this round turned out like this.
I hear you, Sam, but they also didn't get
the ball now for free
real opportunity to make it a 4v2 without a trade going into a 3v2. Like, they could actually maybe kill the guy crossing. Because again, it's first round, there's no trophies down, but. This is just one of many blunders they made.
I feel like 3 hitting dark with the numbers is kind of faded. Like funneling through one lane like that, I don't know. I just feel like you're kind of setting yourself up to get pieced. I would have liked to see them either wrap back through spawn or even push out their side. I don't know. Where did they throw the smoke down close dark? Where did they throw? Was there a smoke there when Scrappy pieces them here? How did they? I don't understand why they all hit through dark. Like they 3 hit dark and nobody wrapped spawn. One guy wrapped spawn and somebody should have probably went with him. You can see here, like, and 04 had the cross. Brezzy had the cross. You're right, Sim. He gave it up, and then they got there. Did they throw a smoke? Here it comes right now.
They threw smoke because
But where did it go? Did they throw it? I think they fucked it up. 'Cause how did Scrappy have such an easy line of sight there? The smoke comes in. Did it just kind of fade out? Because look, the smoke goes down. Where is it? Where the fuck's the smoke? Where's the smoke at?
In dark.
It's like still in dark.
Yeah,
it's like not fully out of the alley.
Right, which is like, that's a shit smoke right there. That was a terrible smoke. They actually get a good, because I've seen people hit through dark through the smoke. That I don't mind that because
special.
It's a sim special.
yeah, I don't mind people hitting. Like I would have liked to see them if they're all gonna hit through dark like that. I wouldn't mind it too much if there was just a giant smoke in the middle of the street and they can't see it. If they're broken or playing like towards their side, they can't see. There's nothing there, but they just run blindly through dark. Scrappy gets the easiest kills of his life. It just looked like they kind of shit themselves right there. And then we go to the 3v4, right? And we had another round here, a 3v4 situation. I don't know if this is the round where Kyler overpeaked or what. There was a lot of overpeaking, to be honest, when they had numbers. It's kind of just a story of the Seattle search in the map. Yeah, this is it. It is it.
Is this it? Yeah,
this is it.
Dude, this round's insane.
Brezzy they get the bomb down.
This is fucking insane.
They get the bomb down.
They
Brezzy gets another first blood.
On the guy pinching, so then he can go
this is the
dark
next
alley.
round, by the way. They just trolled the first round. Now we're going into the second round. Okay, bomb down. Color does not need to chow this at all. Get out of there, brother. Just get out. There's no point.
Bro, they have a GG because Brezzy pushes dark alley, bro. Like, if they just kind of hold.
That 04 is fucked. Look,
they just don't
fucked.
tweak. They have so many ways to check this bomb. And it said they all die before Brezzy pinches. And he just,
Yeah.
Comedy.
Well, I think the bomb checker there is Kyler. Check bomb, stay alive. Yeah. Check bomb, stay alive. Right? Like, just check it every 7 seconds. Check bomb, 7 seconds. Stay alive, boom. Just keep going back and forth. You don't need to chow this.
It's buy time for Brezzy's pinch.
Right. You have, and I'm sure Brezzy's
like right here. Just run away. Run away. Literally, crack the door. You saw nothing. Run away.
And you know Brezzy's got to be. There's no way Brezzy's not saying like, "Yo, I'm pushing right." Like, wait for me. Wait for me. If he's not confident, he's trolling. But if he's confident, which he most likely is, that's crazy. And in 04 and Abuza kind of, I felt like once Kyler died, they started to panic. I think 04 was like, shit, they could be on bomb. He
of course, they probably started to panic. Tom, have you heard how Kyler calls out?
Yeah, that too. I mean, the call out. I mean, yeah, that's a whole different story. If he's just, panicking the comms. But yeah, I think the main thing is just the decision making, right? Like that's really all it comes down to there. But yeah, any other final thoughts here on the series? Anything else you guys wanted to look at? I thought those first 2 rounds pretty much set the tone for the rest of the match. They got 6-1 here in the S&D, and those first 2 rounds pretty much just tell the story, man. It's just like over chows, peaking, not using their numbers, just so many bloods.
Discipline, man.
Yeah,
is this the final round where Hook's just like peeking his head everywhere and just
he runs through dark with those shoulders.
Like he just can't do he can't stand still, bro. Like they're doing nothing and he just keeps peeking angles, taking damage.
He's in cafe, then he goes to A-bomb, he goes back to tank, then he goes back to middle, right? He's checking middle, he's bouncing around, goes back to cafe, streak comes in. I mean, granted, here
actually, no, this wasn't it. It wasn't it. This wasn't the round, but either way.
I know what round you're talking about, though.
I just don't remember which one it was.
He waltzes through dark.
He waltzed through dark. So, yeah, during the watch party, we were like, "Oh, he's gonna peek dark." You got what I'm saying, though. That's like the most Hook playstyle thing. I'm like, brother, just fucking sit still and trust your teammates.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. You guys have any other final thoughts on the series here with Seattle and Toronto?
I don't know how fucking Seattle won that control. I mean, we know we didn't talk about it that much, but that Seattle was a couple gunfights away from being 0-3 control at this fucking event. So
they clutched. They won some big fights and clutched up in the control.
So Seattle, I think.
I thought going into Karachi they were fucked.
I was just gonna bring up the Karachi thing. I think that Karachi map was big for their FaZe matchup, similar to like the high rises for the Optic FaZe match. That Karachi hardpoint was a catalyst for Toronto's success against FaZe, and if they are in this current form, I think FaZe can beat them on it, which poses a massive problem for their map pool if they were to end up playing each other.
It was like 3-0 against FaZe on it this season, I think.
Yeah. That was like FaZe was like vetoing it against them and playing sub base, which is the reason that FaZe has added sub base to their pool. But if Toronto was this vulnerable on Karachi, I think it poses a lot of problems with their hardpoint map pool.
So my last on Seattle is that with their decent placings on land this year, they're going to be a 5th or 6th seed. It's not locked in yet because it depends on how LAG play tomorrow. But that would actually, I think right now, if LAG were to lose out, I think then Seattle will get the 5th seed. I don't know the exact. Yeah, 5th seed. LAG would need to make grand finals, otherwise Surge are 5th seed on head-to-head over LAG. So right now Seattle will play Nysl winners round 1, which is a pretty good draw for them. But they got a lot to clean up, otherwise they're going to lose that match.
So Miami's guaranteed 8, right?
So right now, Miami's guaranteed 8. Thieves are 7th. Seattle and LAG are 5th, 6th. Obviously, what I told you. Texas is 3rd. Nysl 4th. And FaZe will get 1st if they just win 1 series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the standings after we talk about the last series here. Let's go to the last and final series of the day. We had 5 matches today. This one was definitely hurt for the LA Thieves fans. I know Sam was losing composure watching this one. This one ends in a 3-1 finish for the New York Subliners. We'll scroll down and take a look at the stat sheet. Oh, Jesus! Hit it again, man. Hit it again. Oh, man. No, don't hit it a second time. Don't do that. I saw you. No, don't do that. I saw you trying to hit it twice. What did you guys think here? I mean, Sam, we'll start with you. Obviously, LA Thieves just in the slaying department, right? They kind of get cooked here. I mean, I feel like a lot of that, too, just comes from the respawns, the hard points. They just get
the hard point today was dog shit. It was
really bad.
It was a pitiful hard point day. Every single one of them was bad. Yeah. The map, bro, it map 3 like that. That shit is just the end of their tournament. Period.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they got 4 points on the Vista. That bitch should have been 200-0, bro, or 250-0 after the way that map 3 ended.
Yeah, the hard points were definitely tough. I mean, they had a red carpet in both hard points here. You could say it was just wasn't
bro,
good.
Parker dropped a 2.2, bro. Map 4 is insane.
Yeah, he was 36 and 16.
That was guaranteed after the way that.
What it was, Paco had 102 kills in 4 maps. Yeah, okay.
Shocker, 23 out of 23 votes. Hydra gets the MVP here. I mean, he has just been insane.
Yeah, but hold on, Tom. Scroll down. This demonstrates all the problem of Paco and why I think, for me, why right now I put Chris over him for MVP other than New York win is that as good as Paco has been in respawns, the search is still a little bit of an issue. And if you scroll up, Tom, New York did lose the S&D in this series. They've lost 4 of the last 5 searches that they played. I'm a little concerned about New York and S&D heading in tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely struggled a little bit in search. I agree. I mean, I think we all got Simp MVP, right? I think you're kind of crazy if you don't have Simp MVP.
The only reason Hydra has, like, not really an argument, but the only reason we even state that how good Paco is because he's doing it with this roster.
Right.
Like,
He's doing
no
it by
offense to
himself.
them, but he's not doing it with the Terror. He is Terror duo, Celium, who's been, like, the most consistent assault rifle player, and then Draza, who's obviously been really good, too. Like, he's doing it with this team, and yeah, they got, they had a great World Championship run. But like you're not going to be able to argue that this team is technically weaker. Than
I guess there is an argument for Scrap too. People are saying
I
Scrappy.
think it's just whoever wins this tournament gets it.
Right.
It's Scrap and Simp, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Maybe
Toronto wins, I think
Scrap and
Scrap
Simp,
gets
yeah.
it.
I think if New York wins it,
I can see an argument for Scrap.
I think if New York wins it, then Simp would still get MVP for, again, the reason I specified, because unlike Paco and Scrap, I think like Chris is across all 3 game modes has sort of been at the top. But
Question: are they staying as the Subliners, or are they switching their brand name?
They're gonna switch their name. One thing we were talking about in the car, we were driving and we were just talking about the name and stuff. They could do New York Cloud9, NYC 9. That's what that would be.
Cloud9ers would be
That'd be fire.
insane.
That would be like the tag,
NYC
right?
9 would be fire.
NYC 9
that wouldn't be allowed though, right? Because
Why?
they still have that rule, don't they, where you can't have like the org name that's
I
different.
mean,
Optic
Optic
has it.
Optic, FaZe,
FaZe has
Atlanta,
it.
FaZe.
They changed
FaZe
that. They
had-
changed that.
Oh really?
So-
think
Yeah,
so.
It's not
Because
the
FaZe had it
only one,
even year 1, but Envy
Wait,
had to do Empire.
Bro, Miami has
I'll-
Heretics too.
I'll explain what happened, which is like there was when that happened with
NYC
FaZe in year
cool as
1,
fuck.
like some of the non-endemic orgs, and I won't name them, got a little bit upset because of the licensing deal that FaZe has struck as part of that. But then, like once they got to year 2 or 3, they realized it's really not that big of a deal. And in fact, if we want to entice people to come by in this league, and they
Yeah,
want
like
to
every
bring their
other
org name,
horrible
yeah,
decision the CDL made.
like we just
It's dumb
accept
as
it.
fuck, bro. It's a stupid fucking decision for that to be a thing.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
you're,
some of the
like,
owners are it's politics, bro. And I
Having to
think
create a whole
you're
separate
just
entity is
alienating
insane,
fan bases,
bro.
though.
Oh,
Like, it's
100%.
so hard for people to understand
it
that,
also
like,
is
who owns
why
who.
teams didn't get in. Like some teams decided not to get into
Yeah,
the
they
CDL.
don't want
because
to
of
make
that.
whole new brands. It's dumb as fuck.
Well, you're going to see some. I mean, you're already going to see with Toronto Ultra. Adam Adamu's tweeted about how they're going to slowly, unify the naming across all their different esports orgs they have. Like, I think eventually you're going to kind of see it. But to get on topic, bro,
Blender.
man,
An absolute blender.
New York smoked them, bro.
New York smoked them today, but bro, like, and I want to get back to what we talked about earlier with the invasion control. Like, what have these guys been doing all year on this map? You watch them
Not all
play.
year. Not all year.
Oh.
They were good stage 1-2 on this map. They were like one of the better teams, if not the
But not
best.
by winning offenses, by some round 5
This is a
fucking
crazy
defense.
clutch.
No,
by the
they
way,
were
from
good at
Skies.
offense
This is
earlier.
crazy right here.
Bro,
This
they
is
have an
insane.
They were
auto
one of the
veto.
original teams to actually innovate offense on this map to start the year.
So,
for
then
FaZe
what
50-50.
happened at some
And then
point
they
in the
turned
middle of the
shit.
year? Bro, they
Because
played
they didn't do anything after that. They got their edge early season on this map, and I always praised their offenses for the first couple stages, and then they just got stagnant. Everyone else caught up and innovated. They stayed the same, and now they can't fucking win offense on
Bro,
this map.
Bro, they've had an auto veto and control this whole time when they're literally not good at this map. Like they have been good at this map
It's
since like
crazy.
the first stage. Like they need to just fix that, bro. If they want to make a good run at champs, assuming their S&D stays the same, their hard point stays 50-50, it needs to come down to improving this control. Because if teams are not going to play them on high rise, they need to find a way where they can just like throw a Karachi against teams that are playing this map. The fact that they're playing New York on this map is fucking insanity when they are literally like one of, if not like the best team on this map
New York's
outside of
insane
like
at this
maybe
map.
FaZe. Like, give it a rest and get good at the other map, bro. What like I wouldn't be surprised if these guys go into scrims not trying on the map because they've yet to play it in like multiple stages.
Bro,
I mean, to be fair, though, I mean, LA Thieves had the control in their hands, bro. They literally had it in their hands. And they threw it away. They could have easily pushed this. If they win this control, right? They get smoked in the harpoon, whatever. They go to a map 5 search where, like Ben just said,
Yeah.
is
I
where
was feeling pretty confident.
probably
yeah.
is New York is that's their weakness right now, right? It's their S&D game. So, this is definitely a hard one to swallow for LA Thieves. You could take a look here
Bro,
as well.
What a fucking play by Dante, dude.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yep, it
What
was
a
a great
fucking
play.
heads up play.
It was a great play from Dante.
Yeah, but hold on. Like, what?
Bro, he was depleting the point. That's why he was
No,
sitting
no,
on the point.
I'm not tweaking on. I'm not tweaking on Joe. I'm tweaking also watching this back to like, you lose this map because there's one tick on A, and like obviously you want to try and win with 2 seconds or tunneling, but like someone should cut middle and have an opportunity to like maybe deny that last second push. I feel like I don't know who was the last off a spawn there, and they kind of went through DVD and they kind of took the longest route to middle. I feel like kind of going to courtyard and being able to pivot quickly probably would have saved them this round. Because you lose B, so be it. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't know why they're spawning fucking blue. Like, why are they not spawning gas here?
Also, this might be a little bit of a nitpick here, but why isn't Kremp getting on this head, like sliding into that head glitch there and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this could be a nitpick, but I think him sitting back here on his L trigger is dumb as hell. Look, he's still there too. He's still there. He's just holding. Like, bro, get pushed up on the God head. Bro, this is one of the best head glitches in the game right in front of you, and you can literally just get on it and mow these guys down. And instead,
He's just not anticipating pressure quick enough. Like this all it
how
is.
are you not anticipating pressure? They have no
I-
other
I-
play. They have no
he
other
thinks-
fucking play.
Tom,
What else can they possibly do
They're the
here?
Los Angeles Thieves, but they're also the Los Angeles Tweakers, and unfortunately, we've seen plays like this from them all
Bro,
season.
this is like one of the most insane like control collapses I've ever seen in the game mode.
Me too,
Like
me too.
this is
This is
this
crazy.
is fucking like otherworldly shit.
Like
I
he
can't,
should
bro.
Kremp,
Shout out
Kremp,
fucking Dante,
Kremp,
bro.
Kremp could have been
Genuinely.
in broken. He could have been in broken. Like he could have been in there, just ready to go, just locked in, just hiding, just shooting people off point. And then this, here is just kind of unfortunate. I mean, Dante just makes such a great heads up play here, just sneaking on the A, which I think LA Thieves needs to start doing more on their offense. I don't know if you agree with me on this, Sam. But I think they need to have individuals taking more risks towards Cafe. Like when they're applying pressure B, somebody should be lurking like mid and lurking around A. Because what happens when you get one guy in the 8 point? What happens? You start dragging people out. You start dragging people out of the play. You start opening up the map, right? That leads to more mistakes. Like get people on their toes. Get the defense moving.
The best teams on offense aren't the teams that do the generic push through blue after they cap B and flank and get in their base and get it's always the ones that can it's always the ones that can hit B 3v4. That's literally
100%.
how good you are at this map on offense.
These don't have those like players like just individually just like sneaking into laundry and playing a kill or somehow sneaking onto the 8 point. All it takes is just playing a corner somewhere mid while your team's attacking B. You get one kill and boom, you hit the 8 point, and now that the other team's fucked. They're like, shit, got them on B, got them on A. They start tweaking, leads to mistakes, leads to kills, and bada bing, you win the offense.
Can I phrase it another way? I think the way that Thieves play offense, they play so slow that they give the defense an opportunity to pick up all cuts, get set up, and get on headies. When the teams, you guys' point, they push a street, they make it chaotic, they make the defense panic. We talk about how stacking also causes that, and then they make fucking mistakes. And you see here the mistake that these make because they're fucking panicking. Because, by the way, you're going to watch this clip. Bro, spring to this point here, Nasty's running through the middle, clears fucking corners, and instead of trying to dive this fucking point, he tries to cut people off coming for fucking Palace. I don't know if he would have gotten there, but he might have been able to contest it, maybe. If he double cross, maybe he dies, but at least try.
Pretty sure he had an opportunity to back up after somebody died. The guy on A died, and I think he could have backed up way sooner, but I don't know if he just didn't react fast enough or what.
Who could have? You saying when Joe dies?
Nasty.
Oh, when Nasty.
Nasty.
Dies?
So look, as soon as he dies, Nasty's still mid tank. Like he just didn't react fast enough.
Let me see. Wait, what are you
Maybe
talking
it's
about?
just it's.
What are you talking about?
When
You'll see him come off spawn. You'll see him come off spawn blue.
He runs DVD and goes mid tank.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. That's what you're talking
Just
about.
immediate,
Right,
just
right,
like as soon as my teammate dies on A, I'm literally pistol
Like right
out,
here, you're
sprinting through
sprinting.
cap.
Yeah,
like,
no,
looking dark right
100%.
here.
He just
100%.
like he went to like go guarantee this B shit, and I get it. Like it was kind of just like a weird split second scenario, but
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
timing just pretty much could have lost in the map here. Obviously, these guys get two piece, but
There are like 10 things that happened in a row for New York to win this map. It was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
It's the
perfect
reason,
timing for New York.
It's the reason, Sam, that I think if I'm Thieves management, and I really don't expect them to make much noise at champs, because again, we talk about you just don't know what they show up on a given day. I think Dan's a keepable piece. I think Joe is an interesting one, but I just think there are going to be probably some upgrades over Nasty and Kremp that they should probably pull the trigger on if they can.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know what the market's going to look like.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if we can upgrade, period. But Tom, it was like a interesting. I think you actually said it during the watch party. It's like when they play that map now, they're afraid to take low percentage fights.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%.
And when you watch teams that are good on offense, I feel like they're the ones like taking that risk. Like if I win this gunfight, we're getting an A-tick kind of thing. And I feel like we don't ever see LAT take like the 60-40, 70-30s, because like when you win them, that's how you get a round 5 defense. That's how you get an offensive win. And what Ben was saying is just like everything is so cookie cutter. Everything is so go here, set up here. Let's step by step. And I feel like we're at the point in the year now where the teams that are playing a little more off the hip and like taking those timings and taking the low percentage fights are winning Invasion. That's why New York does so well, because you have Hydra and Dante taking those random timings, taking those
FaZe
low
is so
percentage
well,
fights
too.
and getting A-ticks. Same with FaZe.
Yeah.
And
Taking
LAT
risk
doesn't do that.
is really important in every COD.
No,
COD.
what's the point of saving 10 lives at the end of an invasion control round, like on offense? Yeah, you don't want to like keep flooding and give them streaks or whatever, but like try and stop the clock. Try and fucking at least like give yourself a chance to win it. I was maddening to watch him play that map today. I actually wanted to just gouge my eyeballs out.
This is a wash. This map was
crazy. Yeah, just looking at
as soon as
it,
that map ended, this shit was 3-1.
we knew. I think we knew like 2 minutes into this map it was a wash.
I think we knew 30 seconds into this map.
I knew. I knew
so
when I
fast.
saw Dante in a corner on A that this map was a loss.
He was in a corner. On
There was
A.
zero. No, I'm being so serious. There was no way that they win this map. Period. It was not happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is also just like Paco's domain, bro. Yeah, and also Kismet, bro. Kismet played crazy today.
He's having a good tournament,
bro. He's having a good ass tournament, bro.
He's
The
having a good
Bulldog's
tournament.
going crazy, and like when they're on his screen, he looks like he's coming different right now. Like he definitely looks like he's trying to get back on his bullshit.
His performance is literally purely on him, bro. It's always been on him. The team composition, whatever. Say what you will. It's always been on him, bro. Like the fact we've seen glimpses of him playing good. Whenever he does bad, it's because he's just not he doesn't understand how to utilize his playstyle effectively. And also, we saw him do bad at the beginning of this tournament, but that was against FaZe, right? Like now he's got reps on against these lower seeded teams, and like if he's catching this fire, like they're set up to make they can play that Toronto team like well and potentially
It's their
make
biggest,
the finals. Who knows?
It's their biggest series of the season, I think, because I think if they beat Toronto, they're going to be LAG, and then you never know what happens when you make it to a final at that point. But they lose tomorrow, and it's back to the same fucking conversation about New York. They're good. That's just it. You know what I'm saying?
I have zero faith in New York until I see them hoist a trophy. Like
I don't know,
until that final is
They
over,
get to
I
a
have
final.
no faith in this team to do it.
I got faith, bro. I mean, maybe not their search for him, but like we know that FaZe on Sundays like can be iffy sometimes. But the series against the Toronto tomorrow is going to be lit because I think they have a real chance. Both teams have like questionable map pull and mode issues right now going in this matchup. So
Yeah, I say we take a look at tomorrow's matches and see what's going on here. We start things off in losers round 4. We have the New York Subliners going up against Toronto Ultra, so we kick things off with a banger tomorrow. followed by the winners final. That's going to be Atlanta FaZe versus the Los Angeles Guerrillas. And then, of course, whoever loses the winners final will get bounced into the losers final, where they will play the the winner of Toronto and New York. So we'll start with the first series. We have New York versus Toronto. Who do you guys got in this one?
I have Toronto 3-1. I think New York is going. The videos for this are going to be really interesting. But I think right now, the way that Toronto played today, it was pretty smooth sailing, other than kind of bumps in the grudge match versus Miami. I think I got them, but this one's a little coin flippy if like Toronto looked like they did in that first series against LAG. Because then New York will have a chance in the searches they've been poor at.
I'm changing it up. I'm going to change it up. I'm going to go with New York here. I'm going to go with New York. I just feel like it's that time of the year. There's been a lot of upsets this tournament. There's been a lot going on. Ultras, we've seen some weaknesses. I mean, when they lost to LAG, obviously, we've seen some weaknesses from them. But, I mean, this is a grueler. It can go either way. Even for the predictions, I'm trying to be a little different here as well, man. I'm going to go with New York.
Yep. Maybe
I can make a little comeback here in the predictions. I'm going to go New York here. Who do you think, Chris?
Well, let's do Pat, because actually Pat's gonna say Toronto, right?
Toronto,
right, Pat?
3-0.
Yeah, he's got Toronto. I was gonna do the same thing. We just talked about Kismet playing well. He's been in form. Hydra's been playing good. Siv's been playing good. Caesar's been, he's been doing his things, been making plays. At least after they lost the FaZe. So I'm gonna say they're maybe catching a little bit of fire here, and they did beat Toronto at a major once before. I think it was like major 2. So who knows? Maybe we get a little repeat of that. And I'm going to go with New York being the Toronto Ultra.
And then, Sam, who do you got?
Toronto 3-0.
Okay.
Ooh, man.
3-0.
Then we have Atlanta FaZe versus LAG in the winners final. I got Atlanta FaZe in this one, man. I got Atlanta FaZe. I see FaZe going.
I know LAG have beaten them this season. It was online. It was the last match of a stage. FaZe played them on their best maps. I just think LAG's map was real tough for this match.
I never heard Pat go first before.
I got FaZe.
Everybody's got FaZe here.
But hold
never
on,
heard Pat go
I'm not
first.
but I don't know if it's the reverse juju or not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got FaZe though. Trust.
No, yeah, FaZe.
Who do you guys have winning the whole thing? We still got Toronto. I know when beforehand we
I
had
got
Toronto.
FaZe.
Now we've got a good look at kind of all the matches and stuff. I mean, I'm going FaZe now. I'm going FaZe.
I'm not gonna lie, bruh. I got FaZe, but for some reason, if New York beats Ultra tomorrow, I think New York takes this. If they beat New York, I'm not even gonna lie.
If New York beats New York?
If New York beats Ultra, like if they win that first series, I think New York wins this tournament. But if they don't, obviously, I think just FaZe closes it out.
What do you think, Pat? Who do you think's winning? You got Toronto still?
I got Toronto not losing a map in grand finals.
Oh my God, they're
Really?
reversing it?
Yeah.
They're reversing the cheese slay?
Yeah.
And we could take a look here. Are these updated here? Or
These are
no, they're not updated.
updated.
No, because LAG they move up here. So the teams not making it to champs are what? Carolina, Minnesota, Boston, and Vegas.
Yeah.
Right? Those are the 4 teams.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, it's tough, man.
So Miami's
It's tough.
solidified 8th seed. There's still some movement in the middle, like Ben said, but for the most part, everyone's done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no pie for Dylan Attach.
No pie for Dylan. Attach.
Well, there's Esports World Cup. He could get that piece of the pie. It's a
I
big
guess,
piece
yeah,
of the
I
pie.
suppose that
It's a big
does,
piece.
Yeah.
That does count.
So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, guys, any final thoughts on the standings, the series today, the matches tomorrow? You guys have any other final thoughts before Ben hits the ball?
I got a tip Nameless, bro. I got a tip Nameless. Earlier this week, you said, bro, we could see.
So why are you
weird-
whispering? Why the fuck are you whispering?
I don't know
What the
why
fuck
I don't know
happened
why
to
I'm
you?
whispering. It's,
The fuck?
NPR
Are you all right?
with Ben
Are
J.
you good?
Is he good?
Ben J News. No, I actually got tip Nameless because he made the point on my stream
I
earlier
don't
this
know,
week.
bro.
That he felt like the top 4 could get weird this tournament based on the bracket draw and some of the vulnerabilities, and he was correct. And LAG was the team that ended up being the beneficiary of that. So we'll see what they can do tomorrow. But I don't know. I have a sneaky suspicion. I know I picked Toronto, but I got a sneaky suspicion that New York's going to do something interesting tomorrow.
Listen,
I don't
Benji,
know.
don't
Sam
let
turned
me
his
do
camera
that
off?
again. Benji, don't let me do that again, Benji. Don't ever do that again.
What?
Hit the
You
putt,
don't like
bro.
Benji on WMPR?
Hit the
New York?
putt, bro.
Sam turned his camera off because he lost fucking
Please never do that
composure.
again.
Sam, why'd you turn your fucking camera off?
He lost composure, bro.
I
You
have,
fucking
I have a
jerk.
It's 'cause-
Minecraft villager doing
it's because you made him.
here.
It's because you made him bricked up, and he could do want to show it on stream.
Brother, it's because
Don't.
you. What do you mean? You checked him, Benjay. You checked him.
Don't ever let him talk like that again.
Bro, Slay, that's never happening again. I'm gonna have a talk with this guy when we get off. I'm gonna have a talk with this guy. Cause what was he doing? I said it instantly. So why is he
This
whispering?
guy's flashing the camera.
What the fuck is this guy doing?
Yo, Ben's got cake.
Ben's got
low-key.
Haggy crack.
It's
Sorry.
the BB.
What?
It's BBL Benjay, Chris. It's BBL Benjay. Ladies and gentlemen, Benjay the Seam stepping up to the
BBL
plate. He's got no slippies on, just socks only. Does he hit the paw? He goes to sink and he misses the paw. He misses the paw.
This guy's horrible,
Oh,
bro. He's
this
so
guy's
bad
terrible.
on land.
This
Wait,
guy.
so bad
Where'd
on
you
land.
get that rug, bro?
Costco.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice rug.
It is.
Why,
It is
Slay?
nice
You
one.
need rugs
Oh my
and
god, he
shit.
missed
Slay,
back to back.
I'm
Ben
rug,
missed back
I'm
to
rug
back.
shopping right now.
Slay, rug shop.
Ben
Rug
missed
shop
back
is-
to back. This guy's a liar.
Shopping, furniture shopping's fun, Slay. I had fun when we were furniture shopping. I enjoy it. Are you decorating right now, Pat, or what?
A little bit, yeah. I'm in the shopping phase though. I don't know if I like that chair though, Tom. That chair is interesting.
The
And,
one-
and
the
mainly
big
the
one?
reason I don't like it is because Nub was on it all day.
You wanna come here and make a putt, Sam? You guys always sure.
Nah,
How
Slay,
you miss a
guys
putt
always-
with 3 holes
Hey,
twice?
Pat, that chair's fire.
Bro,
It
we-
spins around and shit. You
Bro,
can spin it.
Listen, I'm going to talk to Gersh. We're going to go to mini golf at Champs. We promise we can't do it because Pat,
You are the only person
the
that
golfer.
golfs here.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
have to be
but
trimming my
we can
putts
see this is his first like mini golf type mat, and I think he'd get smoked. He smoked at mini golf.
Tommy's going to hit a putt. Let's see it. You're going to realize how short this putter is, bro.
That thing looks like a Minecraft pickaxe.
Yeah, they can see it. They just see your ass, but it's all good.
Wait, he's
Wait,
left-handed?
Tom's left-handed? Yeah, wait,
Tom's
what?
left-handed? What the fuck? No
Yeah,
wonder.
it's much easier. Much harder to
Actually,
hit,
no
bro.
motion.
Much
No
harder to hit
motion.
this putter.
Nah, wait, Tom, you gotta say you're right-handed, Tom. Tom, you gotta say you're right-handed.
Huh?
Are you
Right
right-handed?
or left-handed?
I'm right-handed. But
Why are you hitting the putt?
I'm a lefty and everything else. I'm a lefty, and when I bat, I'm a lefty. When I fucking golf, I'm a lefty. When I skateboard, I skate
So you're
goofy.
ambidextrous.
I'm
Tom,
ambidextrous.
you
don't
gotta
even know what
redeem
that
yourself,
means.
bro. You
Ambi
didn't
big
even get
nose.
it halfway down.
Bro.
You gotta run the outro,
I'm
bro.
like
You gotta do it.
fucking Robert
End the
Chick-fil-A.
damn show.
All right,
End the
let's end this
damn-
shit,
end
guys.
the
I
show,
appreciate
bro.
every single person that fucking joined up today, man. It's an absolute pleasure. I hope you guys all enjoyed. We will be back tomorrow for Championship Sunday. Back at it with another episode. Just a friendly reminder, man, that the merch is out and available, so make sure to cop it while you can. ZooMaa.gg. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, go to anchor.fm/theflank to check out all the audio sites are on. And of course, go follow at the flank on Twitter. Gersh doing a phenomenal job running socials per usual. What's the problem?
One more thing. Also, make sure you check out the FaZe collection at steelseries.com. You might not be able to find all the items on steelseries.com, but if you go there, it'll link to retailers that have the keyboard, the mouse, the double XL mouse pad, which is my favorite. So make sure you go check that out. Also, the code the flank on the SteelSeries website, that'll get you a nice discount. So make sure you check that out.
Alrighty, phenomenal, guys. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Make sure to like it and subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for Championship Sunday. It's gonna be a banger, man. I can't wait. So see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for all the energy today, man. Take care, brush your hair, take it easy, and we'll see you guys tomorrow on another episode of The Flank, man. Later, guys.
Boy.